Hey Gronk, obviously you faced the Rams back in September, but they've changed quite a bit with the addition of Von Miller. What is the addition of him done to this defense?
Yeah, Von's a great player. I played versus him many times when he was out in Denver. He's super quick. He can, just shoot off the ball at any time, and it just brings another dynamic to that defense. They can, set that edge out there with Von and get that pass rush out there on the edge with Von out there. So he brings, a lot of pressure to the game, a lot of pressure. He brings to the offense because he's quick and he can get to a quarterback really fast.
Is there a different feeling going into the second round of the playoffs than a year ago? I mean, obviously you guys were pretty healthy a year ago, and this year it's been fighting uphill battles all season long. Is there a different feel now?
Yeah. I mean, every year is a different year. Teams are always different. Our team, is different. It's always a different feel. Going year in and year out when playing in the NFL. But this year, I mean, like you said, last year everyone was healthy, and this year we got guys banged up, and we got other guys stepping in. So it just makes practice this week that much more crucial to make sure that we are all on the same page.
Greg Allman.
Hey, Rob, I know that first Rams game was a painful one for you, but I want to ask you about the team's struggles before you got hurt and just where you think the biggest differences are between the Bucs team that day and the one you guys will have on the field Sunday.
Yeah, we were definitely struggling a little bit when we went out there. I would say, we're a little different team now than we were at the beginning of the year. As same to them. I mean, they're playing great football right now. They got a lot of great players and they're playing very well together. So what we're going to have to do is, play sound football. We're going to, just have to get the yards that we can get, play penalty free football. And I would say at the beginning of those games, I mean, it was just us not making the plays. They got a good defense, but in order to, move the ball on them, you got to make the plays. And we definitely weren't making the plays the first time we played them.
Thanks, Rob.
We'll go to Evan Klosky. If media have a question, please raise your hand.
You hear me? Okay, there we go. Oh, that's why my thing's not working here. Gronk, just mostly Mike Evans talked about this, how he loves playing a team that he lost to during the regular season. Part of it is a fire in him to kind of redeem himself for after that loss. Just what is it like for you playing a team for the second time around? And on top of that, because I know you just did it with the Eagles, but a team that you lost to, is there more takeaways from a loss than maybe a win in those circumstances?
It depends on the circumstance, but many times when you do lose, you can definitely take away, a lot of things that you did wrong that you can correct and fix. No doubt about that. And it also just shows you, when you lose to them earlier in the season, that you got to go out there and play your best ball, because obviously the product that, myself and the team we put out there on the field, it wasn't good enough the first time around. So how can we fix that? How can we fix the problems that we had, making sure that we catch all the balls that are thrown our way. And that's what, you learn from a loss is that how can you fix it? How can you correct it? Instead of, if you beat a team earlier in the year, oh man, we beat them, we got really nothing to fix. No, that's not a good way to go about it. When you beat someone else, but then in this case, they beat us. So it's, man, what did we do wrong? How can we fix it? What can we do? How do we go out there and we compete, we put up points, and that's what you got to do when you lose a game. You got to make all the corrections and go out there and play good ball.
Rob Maddie.
Hey, Gronk, I know you guys played at home in a Super Bowl, but technically last week was your first home playoff game. It seemed to me the crowd had some extra juice, some extra energy. You're used to playing home games in the playoffs up in New England. How would you compare what the atmosphere was like Sunday, and how important is it to have that home field against the Rams this week?
Yeah, it's very important. It's a team that's traveling across the whole country. That plays a little bit of factor. So it's always nice to, have that home game instead of, having a 4-hour, 5-hour plane flight. Going across country. But you got to give it hats off to our fans, the crew. They were out there, they were loud, they were cheering, they were electric. They just made the atmosphere of playing the game of football that much more fun. And we're excited to go back out there, run through the tunnel, and see all our fans out there again. The crew, they're going to be loud, they're going to be proud, and it's going to be another great atmosphere. It's going to be another football atmosphere this Sunday. It's going to be a good time.
We have time for a few more. We'll go to Rock Riley.
You're on mute.
You hear me now, Gronk?
Yep, now I can.
Okay, so last week when we were doing this Zoom, you were saying that it was important to get off to the fast start, but it starts during the week in practice. Like when, you know, don't be still stretching, because when you start a game, you got to be ready to play. Did you say anything to the guys? I'm assuming that's going to be the mantra for this game, you know, starting in practice so you can get off to that fast start again.
I mean, coaches were definitely, you know, pounding that into us, is that we got to go out there, start fast, and on the defensive side of the ball, you know, get off the field right away, get a 3 and out, kind of right away in the game to start fast on the defensive side of the ball. But offensive, the coaches just keep, you know, pounding in us. Hey, let's go, let's get out there, let's start fast, and that starts right at the beginning of practice, getting our juices flowing. And right, you know, when individual routes start, we're just going full speed right from the beginning, and us players just, you know, adapting to that method of just being ready to go right when we step on the field.
Rick Stroud.
Hey, Rob, we've seen you guys come out and run basically no huddle, up tempo, that sort of thing. What does that do for your offense, and how difficult is that for you in particular?
You know, it kind of gives your offense you know, kind of another way to attack a defense, you know, doing a no huddle, you know, keeping the defense on their toes. You know, typically, you know, everyone's used to, you know, huddling up, you know, seeing what's going on, what the offense is doing. It kind of puts, you know, the ball in our favor. I would say with a no huddle offense. I mean, if you're doing it right, and we got a quarterback that, you know, runs it very well, and we got players around us that are willing to do it, you know, at a high speed. So, you know, the benefits, I would say, if you're running it well and doing the correct things, and getting the details that you need to get as an offense, I mean, it definitely hurries up a defense and keeps them on their toes, and possibly, you know, have them make a mistake.
Thanks.
Last question will come from Steve Isbitz.
Hey, Gronk, when you were in New England, there was always a lot of years where your offensive coordinator was being considered for a head coaching job during the playoffs. How do players handle that? Do they talk about it with the offensive coordinator? Do you root for the guy? A lot of that's going on now with Byron Leftwich.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of like, you know, you just got to take just worry about what's going on with yourself, what your job is that week. I mean, myself, you know, and other players worrying about what's going on with Byron. I mean, he's here every day. He's doing everything that he needs to do. He's making sure that we have the game plan that we need. And it's good to see a guy like himself, though, also be in consideration. I mean, we all love Byron. We all, you know, love that he's our OC. We all love going out there and playing football for him, and love his plays. But I mean, as a coach, I mean, you got to do what's best for you, but at the same time, he's all in with us too at the same time. So as a player, you just got to keep on focusing on what your job is, and, you know, just be happy for the guy that, you know, he's getting recognized, and it's, you know, well-deserved too.
All right, that's all we have time for. Appreciate taking the time.
All right, guys. Thank you.